No, I stand on the belief that it will all work out, and you may not see it right now, but just trust the process. Stay as positive as you can during the process. It's easier said than done. I'm not going to say I was just like cheery and just overjoyed each time or during these transitions, but keeping a positive outlook will help you in the long run, because when you're stressed, this is what I experienced, because I have been stressed. Like at the beginning of my adult life, as a young adult, like all I did was stress about everything.
Welcome, everybody, back to another exciting show of the About That Water podcast, where I help you build strong financial habits. I have the awesome opportunity to have this awesome discussion with Melissa. She is a powerhouse within the AFC community, which is the accredited financial counselor. And she's been doing a lot of amazing things in her local community, so much so that she has been on panels and actually changing the way that the city sees their finances and also the community as well. How you doing today, Melissa?
I am great. How are you, Anthony?
I am doing fantastic. So one of the things that I wanted to have you talk about was about getting fired. So what was that like for you?
Okay, so in my career lifetime, I have been let go from a job twice. The first time was because of COVID, and technically it wasn't getting fired. They had to reduce their staff because they were a nonprofit, and I was one of several selected. So that was the first time. And I did not mind. I remember getting a call from, I remember getting a meeting added to my schedule. And at that time of the meeting, I spoke, HR was on the line and my VP was on the line. And my VP was very sad about it, honestly. She did not want to let me go. I could tell she was kind of upset about what was happening. We actually are really good friends to this day. Um, and and I wasn't upset because I did not like the job. I was ready to go. And I remember between me and my coworkers, we just complained and complained. And I just saw it as an opportunity to, it was just a great opportunity. I'm out. Like I didn't have to, because I have a problem with being too loyal.
Hmm.
So I would not have quit, unfortunately. And so it was a nonprofit, like I said, and unemployment, I was getting paid more on unemployment than my job. So I honestly did not care. I was happy. And it opened me up to becoming an AFC, actually, because during that time I wasn't working. I focused more on my passion projects, the personal things that I do with finance. And I was working with a client, and we were getting stuck. And I was just like, what can I do to help me help her better? And so through searching, I discovered the AFC. And a few weeks, months later, I took the test and became an AFC. So from that experience there, just allowed me to look at being fired or let go with the perspective that like it opens you up to something new. Change is good. Like that to me has always been a mantra that I live by. And so change was good in that sense. And honestly, I don't really say I get fired. I say I was released. I was released from this situation or whatever. Um,
That's a good that's a good way to kind of, keep your energy up, you know what I'm saying? It's just like
um,
talk to yourself positively.
It is. I mean, it does not have to be a negative thing at all. I mean, it's only negative if you think it's negative, which leads me to the next time I was released from a job, which was early January 2023 this year. And again, a job I did not like. It actually wasn't a job that was aligned with my finance career. It was just something I was doing. It I made good money and it was just like I'm doing this now. I remember like maybe a day before it happened, like I was like, oh God, I can't wait till I'm not doing this anymore. And so it happened. And I was like, I was upset because of the way it happened, because of the way I was treated at that place. And then I tried to go for unemployment and they tried to paint me out to be a bad employee and just the way people are. That part upset me. I ended up winning my unemployment case and, you know, but again, that was an opportunity to take a different path, whether it was something I was ready for or thought I wasn't ready for. Um, and so this whole year, I've kind of been on fun employment journey and
You call it a fun employment?
fun employment. I got that from a friend actually. She had a stint where she wasn't working and she was grinding and doing her thing, and that's kind of what I was doing this year or have been doing this year. And yeah, I mean, to me, it's really not the end of the world. I've never been in a situation where I got fired or released and had nothing to fall back on. So that's really, to me, a key to maintaining a positive mindset around that situation. Don't ever be in a situation where you get released and you're just like, what am I going to do?
And that's a great story. For one, is that you treated yourself with respect first and not allowing other people to kind of control your life. So, what age were you when you first got fired, or shall you say, released?
How old was I in 2020?
Okay, so about a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
the pandemic. Yeah. Hmm.
all right. We don't need to tell everybody your age.
I know.
I'm sorry. Well, how long ago? How many years ago? So, because you also have here, I'm actually just being nosy. You've written at one point in time that said life happens for you, not to you. Can you expound on that a little bit?
We often think that, the negative things that happen to us or what we think is negative is the end of the world. And that's the wrong way to approach life. Like, no, I stand on the belief that it will all work out. And you may not see it right now, but just trust the process. Stay as positive as you can during the process. It's easier said than done. I'm not going to say I was just like cheery and just overjoyed each time or during these transitions, but keeping a positive outlook will help you in the long run, because when you're stressed, this is what I experienced because I have been stressed. Like at the beginning of my adult life, as a young adult, like all I did was stress about everything. And to me, when you operate like that, you just really can't fix anything. Like you really can't solve any problems with that kind of mindset. All you're thinking about is the problem. So it really blocks and clouds your thinking. So yeah, life happens to you. It's like it will work out. Everything works out for your good. And if you don't believe me, just reflect back on your life. Like, did it not work out? You know?
And you actually are living proof that everything out there is that's put against you is just a moment in time and it doesn't define who you are today.
Not at all. And then I looked at those situations and still do, um, like, I think about how they helped me. Like those weren't waste of times. Like those jobs, as much as I did not like them, like they did a lot for me, whether it's for my career or just personal growth or knowledge. Like it wasn't a waste. And it all the entire situation, it all contributed, or both of them contributed to my growth in some way. So yeah, no regrets.
Nice. Because we will slide on over to the second segment of this show, which is overcoming adversities. And you kind of talked about some of it, but what are the habits that actually helped you get through being let go and during that time frame?
Habits. At the time I was really a hermit. I stayed to myself, and it was a season in my life where I was really trying to get to know who I was and what it is that I wanted out of life. I did not want any influences from my friends, family, other people. Like I stopped watching TV and really shut out the world. I don't know if that was the best thing to do, but yeah, to me it really required a time of solitude and reflection, just to just so you, like you said in with the reading passage, like just so you can give yourself that time to process everything that happened and determine how you're going to move forward. um yeah, that's what I say with that. And in terms of like being alone, I also think you should be with friends and people that you trust and family, because I shut everyone out to the point like I wasn't talking to anybody for months and weeks. And if we did talk, it was really quick. And when I did start coming out again and like connecting with my friends and family, I realized how much I had been missing. Like, even if they could not help me with what it was I was going through, a conversation that might not have had anything to do with what I was going through might have triggered a thought in me, or did trigger a thought in me. This happened often, that helped me in my situation. So, on one end, yeah, it's good to be by yourself and kind of, um, take time to really get to know yourself and what it is that you want to do. But you also want to connect with the world. Like we can't do life by ourselves. And so you have to have a balance of the two.
Is there like another cert in mind now, or like what is the big thing? Because the last time you let go, you like really pushed yourself and stayed down to the grind. And so, what is it this time around?
This time since having experienced that, and I know that having experienced my first release and becoming an AFC and starting that process, I learned how beneficial a release can be. Like you can really like shift a lot. It allows you to shift. So I took that mindset, and that's kind of how I've been operating with this let go, or release. And I don't know, throughout the year, I've been working on my passion projects. Like I said, Prosper with Mel. I also have a counseling business, Seek the Plan, and have really been trying to work on those. Um, I spent a lot of time this year educating myself, whether that was through books or webinars, workshops, conferences. Like I just allowed that this time to be a time where I continue to learn and build myself up. Yeah, I would like to get more accreditations and certifications and things like that. Working on that. Um, but yeah, I think it's just a great opportunity. You should look at it as a great opportunity to just try something new.
Nice. I like that. And because you're talking about trying something new, it brings us to the third segment of the show, which is your futures. So, what skills or habits that you feel will take you to the next level?
Ooh, my future. So, um, things are kind of up in the air right now, honestly, because I spoke with someone a couple of days ago and they dropped a perspective in my soul that was like, I did not even really consider this. And so over the past day, I have been thinking hard about it. Like, what I, okay, let's talk about it. Speaking. This
Okay.
person was like, okay, I speak. Are you interested in speaking? Da 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 da. Sorry for the da da da. That's so
Okay.
unprofessional. But and a few weeks before, like a few weeks ago, I spoke with my business mentor, and she wanted me to speak, and I was like, "Girl, I'm not doing that. Like, I just don't like attention. So being like on stage, um, freaks me out.
Mm.
So." I had this conversation with this person on Wednesday night. And so all yesterday, I'm just like, do I not want to do this because I'm scared, or am I really not interested in doing this?
Mm.
And so right now, I'm really in a state of what am I going to do? Am
Mhm.
I going to punk out? Because I love working with people one on one. It keeps me grounded, it keeps me in the know of what people are going through personally. But I've started to fall out of love with it because it's just so much work. And I'm like, girl, like you kind of need to start working smarter. And speaking would probably help you with that. So I don't know, you might see me out there speaking somewhere,
Okay.
or several places. But yeah, I think I've decided not to be a punk about it. But
Might be the
but
title of the show.
huh?
That might be the title of the show.
Don't
I'll
be
be
a
a punk
punk.
about it.
Don't be a punk about it.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I might head in that direction.
I can see you as a speaker. And I
Can
was
you?
actually thinking about doing some local speaking gigs, mostly because it seems like in person is going to be the new luxury. I think that would be a good move.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah,
Let's
because
tag
I
team.
wanted to do events.
You want to do events?
I do have plans to do events, but to me, it's not speaking. My mentor is like, that's speaking, Melissa. Like, to me, speaking, but but it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And I'll definitely keep in touch with you so that we can link up. And even if it's just the first one with a small audience, but at least that audience will get all the soup, the nuts information that they need. And it might not be polished, but the world doesn't want your polished work. The world want just good enough what you can offer it. So man, this is great. Anything you want to say before we go dive into the final four questions?
Anything I want to say, I want people to look at money as a thing that can really help empower you through life. It helps to build your confidence in a way that is kind of undescribable. Um, because I would not have had this experience this year from being released at the top of the year. I started the year getting released, right? If I did not take my financial planning and situation seriously, like this situation allowed me to experience the feelings people feel with like financial freedom. Like, oh, I don't have to rush and get a job, or I don't feel scared about how am I going to pay my bills. Like, And it allowed me to not have to rush into something that I did not want. Because there were plenty of opportunities that came my way that I did not want. But just knowing that I have a bad habit of taking jobs I don't like, I don't want to do that anymore. So again, I just want people to know like you can use your money to create your life and build a more empowering kind of situation for yourself, and you can move a lot more confidently through life. So really take your finances seriously and set yourself up in a way that you can feel good.
So, ready for the final four?
I'm ready for the final four.
Number one, what does wealth mean to you?
Wealth means everything. Like it's not just money, it's peace of mind, it's being able to make your own decisions, it's not having to wait on anyone, not having to depend on anyone, having your own. Wealth is everything to me.
Number two, what was your worst money mistake?
My worst money mistake is not following the money. um, my thing is I know how to manage money. It's making money. It's like how like I'm one of those people who try to align myself with work that I care about and I think I'll love. And yeah, I do go into these jobs with a purpose and like starting off loving them. But but yeah, like even with my second release, like that job taught me like I don't have to settle for an income that is not good enough for me. Like I need to be making at least this. And if it's not that, then no thank you. Versus in the past, I might have has settled for a salary that wasn't what I want. So yeah. What was the question again?
What was your worst money mistake, though?
Yeah, my worst money mistake is just not making enough money.
Gotcha. Number three, what is your favorite financial or non-financial book?
I have several, but the one that's like in my head, like I'm like, do I want to say this one? It's called Enough by John Bogle, the founder of Vanguard. It's just really good nuggets about business and life and just how you manage your life and your money and things like that.
Okay. Number four, what is your favorite dish to make?
I love rice. Like I'm just a rice guy. Anything with rice. I'm good. I got a pot of white rice. I don't even make a pot. I make like a small pot of white rice because I need it fresh. Um, rice and eggs, rice and chicken, rice and steak, rice and fish. Um, but I'm Haitian, so I love Haitian food. Um, black rice, if you've ever heard of it, Jean. It's like a mushroom that makes the water that you boil the rice in black. Like that's my favorite type of rice. Um, but yeah, if not that, then right, it's white rice.
Gotcha.
That is so lame. Like rice.
I mean, that's what you like to make. That's what you like to make. I mean,
I like to make rice.
all right. The last question. I have so many questions about the race, but the
I'm
last
laughing at
question of the
myself.
show is where could people find out more about you?
They can follow me on Prosper with Mel. On Instagram, I'm more active on Instagram, if you would call that active. But Prosper with Mel and everywhere. Um, yeah, that's really it.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Mel, for so much and bringing on your perspective and also your understanding of just being let go, having that understanding that the way how you talk to yourself actually can make you so much better. And if you are listening to this or even watching this and got some value out of it, please make sure that you go ahead on and like, subscribe, and even share it with somebody that you felt could actually prosper. And if they want to prosper with Mel, you know where to catch her. All right, everybody. Y'all be safe. I'm out. Peace.